Hi, everybody.
Hello, and welcome to this stream. I keep forgetting which thing to look at, like an idiot. We are going to do our Disney Pixar Bracket Challenge. We saw one going by, and it was by a guy on Twitter. I believe his name was Anthony or something like that. But I didn't really like the seating that was on there. It had like Toy Story on like all three Toy Stories on one bracket, which I wasn't super enthused about. I don't know if you saw that one.
I think that was the original one that I kind of like played with and looked at. But
we are gonna do this one that is created by my friend Trevor from high school. He helped design it, and a guy on Twitter named David Brooks, David Brooks 97. That's the one we're gonna go look at. But yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna try to debate here. We're not gonna probably have it right all the time, but it's gonna be me and Rachel talking it out to try to figure out what is the movie that wins in this group of 64. There's a ton of big Disney movies in this thing.
yeah,
So it's gonna be
faux show.
kind of fun. All right, so just want to go through some of the movies that are in here right now. We got Lion King at number 1 in this one. Nightmare Before Christmas, Bambi, Rescuers, Toy Story 3. I'm going to move it towards the center a little bit so to make sure that you see everything. Lilo and Stitch, Bugs Life, Sword and Stone, Robin Hood, 101 Dalmatians. This is already a great list. Aladdin, Goofy Movie, Dumbo, Lion King, Frozen, and Bolt in the first section of the bracket, which is Fantasyland. The Incredibles, Planes, Monsters University, Snow White, Peter Pan, Zootopia, Ratatouille, Princess and the Frog, Hercules, Meet the Robinsons, Mulan, Aristocats, Emperor's New Groove, Brave, Monsters, and Home on the Range in this bottom bracket here.
Oh, see, the Emperor's New Groove wasn't even on my other one. That's like one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah. Toy Story,
but
which
Coco
is obviously number 1.
Rising to the top of like everything for me.
We'll see what it meets up with. We'll see what it meets up with. Treasure Planet, Pocahontas, WALL-E, Jungle Book, Alice in Wonderland, Tangled, Chicken Little. I forgot Chicken Little was even a Disney movie, to be honest with you.
I didn't know that either. I thought it was something else.
Yeah. Little Mermaid, Lady and the Tramp, Finding Nemo, Cars 2, Fox and the Hound, Inside Out, Moana.
I like both those movies.
Yeah. Moana, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Toy Story 2. Oh, that's the other bracket. That's Adventureland right there. So.
Wait, is it? Oh, yeah. And then Toy Story 2 and Coco, yeah.
Toy Story 2, Coco, Finding Dory, Brother Bear, Cinderella, Atlantis. I'll write it in a little bit, but Cinderella, Atlantis,
like Toy Story 2.
Tarzan.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Tarzan, Sleeping Beauty, Up, Big Hero 6. That's gonna be a tough one. Mm-hmm. Beauty and the Beast, Cars 3, Lion King 1.5 makes an appearance. Wreck-It Ralph, Cars, and Fantasia. So that's where we're set up right now.
Lion King 1.5 even on there. That shouldn't even be on there.
Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, Tangled. Oh yeah, Tangled is a fan favorite. All right, so we're gonna start in the top right. We're just gonna go top left. Sorry, in Fantasyland. All right. What we're gonna do, I think we are gonna go ahead and just do the entire bracket on this side.
Okay.
And then we'll just go through all 4 and get our final 4.
That's fine. I'm cool with that.
Because then we can get a little bit more focus. So,
right. Sounds good.
The first matchup is Lion King and Nightmare Before Christmas. While Nightmare Before Christmas, I think, is a great movie in and of itself. Very specific. Yeah. Very Christmas, Halloween. You have to love Tim Burton's aesthetic. You have to love...
No, it's definitely a great movie. I love that movie. But Lion King, I think, was just such a keystone movie for us.
Oh yeah.
Because it came out when we were 8 or 9 or something.
Yeah, I mean, in our formative years for sure.
Yeah, and it was.
I'm gonna move this a little bit closer.
It was. I think it was one of the first animated movies I saw in the theater that really stuck out to me, and then just I think the fact that it has such high stakes in it and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The emotions were real, and I definitely cried at that movie. Probably one of the first movies I cried at in the theater as well.
I feel like that was one of those movies that much like in the next little matchup, like Bambi, where that part of that movie where Mufasa is that in that moment. It's just so like gut wrenching or whatever.
Family members dying is the worst. So
clearly,
definitely Lion King. I mean, the music in Nightmare Before Christmas is also really good, but the songs in Lion King were so fucking catchy and like. Again, that was like one of the first soundtracks I bought on CD was Lion King.
Oh yeah,
I think it might have been like one of the first CDs I ever bought, ever. I think I had it on cassette, and then when it came out on CD, I got a CD too. Like I fucking loved that music, like so much.
Okay, so Lion King clearly the winner there.
Yeah, and
you can't really. It's hard to.
Everyone's brackets, it wins like hands down.
Yeah,
like, it's just. The best.
Really good. Bambi and the Rescuers. This is a tough one, I think, because Bambi is such an iconic movie.
Yeah, and like there was only, I had a lot of Disney movies like that we owned growing up.
Yeah.
I remember like I had seen the Rescuers I think in the theater, but Bambi was one we owned and I watched a lot as a kid. So for me, I know I liked both of them, but. I think just Bambi for me in general was something that I enjoyed more just because I watched it so much.
Yeah.
And like,
honestly, I would pick the Rescuers on this one if it was the Rescuers Down Under.
Yes.
To be honest with you, because
I forgot
I liked the Rescuers. I thought it was a great movie, but I felt like I personally watched Rescuers Down Under way more. Bambi is such an iconic one. It was such a it has characters that have kind of lived on and all that stuff. I feel like I kind of wanted to put Rescuers above it, but I think if I'm really comparing the two, and if it was Rescuers Down Under, I definitely would have put it over the top. Mm-hmm. But I think Bambi still wins this one.
Yeah, definitely.
So what?
And I agree with you there. I definitely saw Lion King in theater several times as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's a tough one, but not a tough one. The next matchup, which is Toy Story 3 and Lilo and Stitch. Mm-hmm. Lilo and Stitch is a great movie. It's tough because all these movies are fun in their own way.
I know so many girls my age that just loved Lilo and Stitch and especially Stitch, but it just wasn't really a standout thing for me. I enjoyed it. I don't know if it's because I was older when it came out and I wasn't watching Disney movies as much anymore, but Toy Story 3 had just the nostalgia factor of it, and it was basically meant for our generation.
Oh yeah. Toy Story 3 was
you are this kid now that watched the first Toy Story, and this is what you're going through, and
Toy Story 3 panders to the guy who watched Toy Story and was at the age of playing with toys when Toy Story came out.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3 was a perfect wrap up of what that thing could be. And I'm actually surprised.
Before seeing Coco, I think Toy Story 3. Well, I shouldn't say that. Inside Out was one of my favorite Pixar movies before Coco too, but Toy Story 3 is definitely top 3 Pixar movies ever.
Yeah.
So, just in terms of the feels.
I think we're for sure
on the cry meter. It was pretty high up there. I think.
Yeah. And that's going to factor in. I think a lot of things that factor in is rewatchability, emotional magnitude, and just resonance. Yeah, how long it's lasted.
Yeah.
I will say if we have to have a tiebreaker, I will probably go to Rotten Tomatoes and look up what the scores were or box office numbers. But I think we can kind of figure it out here. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right.
So Bug's Life and Sword in the Stone, definitely Sword in the Stone for me.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Because again, I think it was because there were certain movies that I owned and some that I rented, and I think Sword in the Stone I rented a lot as a kid, but I just really liked it. I liked the music, and I loved that Robin Hood-esque group of movies that
you got one of those pillows
when they came out.
Sorry, you gotta get comfortable. My back kind of hurts sometimes if I lean back.
But I just remember just loving the adventure of that movie, and Bug's Life was okay, but it was never anything that I loved. I never felt like I wanted to own it.
Honestly, because Bug's Life kind of molds in my mind with ants so much. that I kind of forget which one is which, and that's not a good thing. Like, even if there are similar movies, you should be able to differentiate Bugs Life from another movie. And I mean, I guess I can a little bit because we've gone to Disneyland so much and we've seen all the Bugs Life stuff. But Sword in the Stone is such like, I don't know. I remember that being a fun one when I was a kid. I didn't watch it that much, but I still remember it better, I feel like, than Bugs Life.
Yeah.
So we're gonna advance a Sword in the Stone for this one.
All right.
Ooh.
Robin Hood.
Immediate vote for Robin Hood.
Fucking love Robin Hood. Oh my god. I can't even express to you how much I watched that movie as a kid. Just over and over and over and over.
I will say 101 Dalmatians has one of the best villains.
It does, for sure, yeah.
In any
and I like,
Disney movie.
I liked
great.
it too, but like...
But yeah, I think Robin Hood resonates a ton more.
And I feel like as a kid too, I was just like... It just freaked me out, the idea of someone like skinning puppies, and like Robin Hood's got some stakes, but they're not that high.
No, yeah, they're not like
it's
that.
It's much more like fun, sing-songy, like kind of silly romp of a movie, and I think that's why I liked it so much. And it had romance and stuff, which I guess like 101 Dalmatians kind of has romance too, but like yeah, I don't know. I think Cruella just really scared me as a kid. So I go with Robin Hood. That's me.
I mean, I think I tend to agree with you. I think 101 Dalmatians is a good movie, but I think the music in Robin Hood is so good. And honestly, I mean, I know kind of the plot in 101 Dalmatians, but I don't know it by heart, I guess. I don't know, like, I'm not like
it really just Cruella de Vil is like the only big song I remember from that movie.
So we are going to have to go
and the cats are in the getting into the
water bottles in the background. So if you hear that noise, that is our cats in the background doing some stuff. This one's it's hard because Goofy movie is such a good movie, and I was talking to people about this earlier today. This is just a bad draw. Like, in any tournament, you get a bad draw. Same with Nightmare Before Christmas. I feel like Nightmare Before Christmas was put up against Bugs Life, put up against 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I think it would advance, but I cannot put a Goofy movie over Aladdin.
No, you can't.
Aladdin has the perfect combination of great music. One of Robin Williams' best performances, and even though it's just the voice, but like, it can't happen.
And again, like, it came out at a time where, like, I just, like, saw Jasmine and I was like, she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I want to be her. And that's literally, I think, why I ended up having black hair for so long, because that was just my dream. Like, I dressed up as her for Halloween several times. Yeah. And she was the only one I actually, like, wanted to dress up as a kid. Like, I never really wanted to dress up as Ariel. I always wanted to be Jasmine just because I wanted to have long black hair. I just loved it. I was so beautiful, and like, but I wasn't allowed to for a long time. So as soon as I was on my own, black hair. All
right.
So anyway,
I like a Goofy movie has one of my favorite songs ever, and
I think that's really the only Disney princess I would ever cosplay is Jasmine, just because I had such a like girl crush on her as a kid. But
yeah, and like I said, Goofy movie holds a special place in my heart because it's such an interesting little movie, and it has one of the best songs. In any movie. I
definitely rented it a lot as a kid just for that song.
You can't put it up against a powerhouse like Aladdin and expect it to move through.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, for the Goofy movie, that's gonna go. This one's gonna be easy because I don't know that I remember Lion King 2 at all. I'm pretty sure it was straight to DVD.
I didn't watch any of the sequels. I like, honestly, like, I think I might have tried to watch Return of Jafar just because I was such a huge Aladdin fan, but
I'm just gonna write it in.
I immediately was like, ugh, this is not good, and it's not this. I could tell it wasn't the same voice actors, and I don't think I finished it. I was like,
no, that makes it difficult for sure.
So I think after that, like, I just got totally turned off to like every sequel movie. The only good Disney sequel that I ever saw was, I think it was called like Return to Neverland or something like that. But it did a story about something that a lot of like Robin Hood sequels have delved into is like with her daughter Jane, Wendy's daughter Jane, like her being the age that Wendy was, and then him taking Jane with him. Because that was always the ending of Peter Pan, was that he comes back.
Gotcha. Yeah.
They never really show it in the Disney movie, but in like every other iteration, I think in the play, he comes back when she's old and she says, "No, I can't come with you." And then he sees her daughter Jane in the bed, and he says like, "Oh, who's that?" And like talks to her, and she kind of is reluctant at first, but then she's like, kind of like, "Well, I can't deprive my daughter of like not being able to have these adventures that I had," so she lets him take her. And so
that's pretty wild.
So they did a follow-up movie where they had Jane go to Neverland. I actually really thought that was a well done like sequel thing. So that was really the only one I ever watched or enjoyed. I think everything else, like, it's just never the same as the original.
No, it's
like,
not. Besides,
I think enough time had passed, because I mean that movie came out.
Toy Story is one of those
ones
that did
Peter
like
Pan?
sequels the right way.
I gotta look that up now. But then they like the sequel that they didn't come out till like I was in high school or something or college. Now I've got to look it up. But sorry
it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, definitely Dumbo over Lion King 2.
Yeah, because that's not
gonna happen.
Sweet, sweet movie.
This matchup is interesting. Yes. There is mild racism in there. Which some of the older movies are going to get knocked for. That's going to happen. Yes, this is an interesting matchup at the bottom of Fantasyland bracket because we have seen neither of these movies.
I know that shit. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that Peter Pan was released in 1953.
Yeah.
I did not know that. How did I not know that?
I don't know.
I thought it was like in the 70s or 80s or something.
Nope.
Holy shit.
Return to Neverland was in 2002.
2002. So that was a long period of time. Like I said, it was like, I think just because I loved Peter Pan so much that when that came out, I was like, oh, I have to see that. But they actually got like a lot of the same people to come back for it. So, yeah.
Really this matchup is going to be just a toss-up because we haven't watched Frozen or Bolt, I don't think. We didn't watch Bolt, did we? I wanted to watch Bolt. I kind of wanted to watch Frozen, but it's kind of overhyped for me now.
Yeah.
But
I will eventually watch it. I just like, anytime I see it on like Netflix or something, I'm like, I just am never in the mood to watch it. And now that I've seen we saw that short that was before Coco, I was just like, oh god, this is just like too saccharine for me. I can't take it.
It's very typical Disney. Very typical, very saccharine Disney. But I will say, if we're gonna go between these two, it's gonna be Frozen because I think it's the more successful movie. Yes. I can't think of anybody who talks about Bolt that much. Just as a logical thing, I would.
It's gonna get killed by Dumbo anyways. Just put it in there. I hate it.
So Frozen's gonna get out of the first round. We'll work back up to the top here. This is going to be tough.
The next one is no contest either. No contest.
I mean, I've heard people like Frozen. We just haven't watched it. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know. This is our thing. Lion King and Bambi.
Oh, wait. We still have more on the bottom.
Oh, no. We're doing this top corner first.
Still. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Lion King versus Bambi.
Lion King versus Bambi. Lion King.
I definitely think Lion King, right?
Yeah.
Bambi is a great older movie. But it suffers from, the seminal moment is really just the one moment where Bambi's mother gets shot, I feel like.
Yeah.
And there's some great characters in there,
really
but...
sweet, and, the music is very, early Disney and very, beautiful and, scored really well. And it just has some very artistically good moments, but again, if we're just talking about personal favorite movies, Lion King is still going to beat out a lot for me because it's such a big thing for me.
Yeah, so I think with all that said, I think Lion King makes it past Bambi.
Yeah. And I'm actually, this is something I'm actually super excited is coming back around that they're redoing. Because at first I wasn't sure how I felt about it. But I think introducing it to a whole new group of kids is going to be really good because it's such a good story.
And their cast is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm super excited for Lion
All right, so Toy Story 3 and Sword in the Stone. I think for us personally, Toy Story 3 definitely makes it.
Yeah.
It hits so much, and we've talked about it before on the podcast and like just in general. Toy Story 3 is such a great wrap up of a series, and it holds up on its own while also like if you've watched the arc of Toy Story, that's an amazing ending. So you can't I can't put Sword in the Stone over Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Toy Story 3 there.
All right.
Which sets up a really crazy matchup up there. Anyway, Robin Hood versus Aladdin, which this one's tough.
Really hard.
This one's really hard because Rachel's heart is on Robin Hood. I actually bought her a Robin Hood cup for Christmas this year because it's one of her favorites. But I think if we have to look at it objectively, I would have to say Aladdin, right? I know it's hard for you.
It's hard because like Robin Hood was like little kid love for me. Aladdin was a little bit older.
Yeah.
Because we just had Robin Hood forever, and then like before Aladdin came out. But I think it's Aladdin still, but
it's really hard. It's really hard. And Robin Hood is such a fun movie too, but I think Aladdin has great songs.
I mean, they
both had great songs. Aladdin has great songs, good set pieces.
All
right, just stop. You're like, just don't talk to me anymore. Sorry, my bad.
It's hard for me.
All right, Dumbo versus Frozen.
Dumbo.
We've only watched Dumbo. Sorry, I apologize.
I gotta put one classic on there because
the classics get kind of killed just with time.
Yeah.
You know. So apologize that
sweet,
if anybody is a big Frozen fan out there.
Mom murders.
Oh, there are. I mean, parents get a rough.
I think he gets taken away from her, right? But it's
kind
of implied that she's
probably dead.
Killed.
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't remember.
All right, this
it's been
one.
A long time since I watched it.
This one is gonna be tough. Lion King versus Toy Story 3. I didn't think that this was gonna move up so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's got to be Lion King, right? Yeah. Because while Toy Story 3 is great, I think in this matchup it gets knocked because it is a sequel rather than the first or an original.
Even though technically it's not an original story, I think they proved that it was like
it's Hamlet, right?
Well, and it's like I think there was like a Japanese anime that was
for Lion King?
Literally the exact same story that they basically.
Anybody else want to corroborate that Japanese story that we stole?
True.
That stole for Lion King?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
but they've like proven it that it was like basically jacked.
It's really hard for me because Toy Story 3 is one of my modern favorites of like any movie. It's so emotional and all that stuff, but I still remember being a kid and watching that scene of Simba going up to Mufasa after the stampede and trying to figure out what was going on. It's gotta be the Lion King.
Kimba the White Lion is what it was.
Kimba the White Lion apparently is the thing Lion King was based on. All right, Aladdin versus Dumbo. I think it's got to be Aladdin, right?
Sorry, now I'm reading this.
Oh, Rachel's reading a story now.
Yeah, it says first animated feature.
Well, read that loud.
Well, I guess they were saying that. So, despite the massive success, huge controversies always dogged the film Kimba the White Lion. I can say there's absolutely no inspiration from Kimba. Animator Tom Cito told Huffington Post.
Interesting.
It says, I mean, the artists worked on the film. If they grew up in the 60s, they saw Kimba. When I was a kid in the 60s, the recesses of memory were aware of it. But it was never anybody's intention to rip it off.
Oh, interesting.
Let's see. I don't know, I guess maybe because I think the design was kind of similar. And
okay.
Then, like, it's Kimba instead of Simba.
This one's gonna be easy. I think
they just want to say it was inspired by Kimba.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely Aladdin, right? Aladdin versus Dumbo.
Yeah, Aladdin.
Sorry, Dumbo. You're sweet. You're a cute little elephant.
But Lion King is also inspired by Hamlet.
Yeah. Right. Lion King versus Aladdin. Now this is very, very rough, and I don't know which way I could go one way one day, one way the other, I feel like.
Yeah.
As far as emotional impact, I think Lion King has the advantage.
Yeah.
As far as music, I think Aladdin has the advantage.
Just slightly.
Slightly.
I like the music of both of them though.
Yeah.
I think maybe even Lion King a little bit.
It's hard. Like I think design wise too, I feel like Lion King has an edge.
Let's go on the Broadway shows. Lion King's way better.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna go with Broadway show, we went to the Aladdin show, which was okay.
It was okay, but like
had a couple good effects.
Comparing it to Lion King on Broadway and the masks and the costuming and the set design, it's just like.
So we're gonna go that deep and bring it all in.
That's my swaying factor. Just kidding. But for me, it's Lion King over Aladdin.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you'd rather do.
It's tough. I think I think I can go either way with them. But I think in this bracket and how I feel about the movies, I think Lion King wins over Aladdin. Although Aladdin is great, and I see everybody in the chat writing Aladdin. I'm sorry, but I think emotional impact wise,
for me,
I will say Aladdin I think is easier to rewatch.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Aladdin's easier to rewatch, but I think in this instance I'm going to go with the emotional aspect of it. I feel more things when I watch The Lion King than I do.
Because with Aladdin, like the genie part was sad, and I remember being sad about that, but it wasn't like. Definitely didn't have the feels that you get multiple times in Lion King with like everything about that movie.
Yeah. So I apologize to disappoint everyone that is in the chat, but The Lion King will be.
It's for us.
Well, it is for us.
You have your own.
You have your own.
Yeah.
You definitely send us your brackets. Like I'll post it, or I posted this up on Twitter. So save that and do your own bracket and show us what you guys did. Because obviously it's going to be subjective. Everyone has different emotions attached to different movies.
Yeah.
Sure. Like when I saw the first bracket, I saw WALL-E versus The Incredibles, and I just couldn't believe that everybody was picking WALL-E over The Incredibles, which I love in The Incredibles, like WALL-E, but The Incredibles is so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're moving on to the Tomorrowland bracket.
Okay.
This is, I was looking at it, it's kind of the weakest of the brackets. In some ways, I feel like some of the early matchups are going to be pretty easy, but we'll see. Obviously, the first one, Incredibles versus Planes, not going to be a contest here. It's not I just talked about The Incredibles. It's not going to be that hard to pick The Incredibles over Planes, and we'll go into Incredibles a little bit more later because we're going to need to. This is a classic versus a sequel. A classic that I don't watch. Monsters University versus Snow White. I don't watch Snow White very much at all.
Well, I watched it a ton as a kid, and again, it's like a sentimental thing that I really liked it, and you know.
And Monsters University was good, but it is a sequel or it's a prequel. Mm-hmm. And you liked it when we went and watched it, but
I liked it a lot. I liked it. I thought it was good.
But I think the classic wins, right?
For me, yeah.
Good characters. And a classic movie.
Yeah, classic.
Peter Pan versus Zootopia. This is a tough one because we both really love Zootopia and we really love Peter Pan.
Yeah.
And I think the advantage that Peter Pan has, James P. Sullivan. What? he just wrote James P. Sullivan for Sully for Monsters University. Yeah. Peter Pan has just survived through the ages. And while Zootopia is great, and we love that movie, like we watch it a lot.
Between the two, I have to go Peter Pan.
Like, between these two, and it sucks because Zootopia just got a bad.
Like, in every iteration of Peter Pan, I've just been obsessed with.
And that's what I was saying. Like Peter Pan has just lasted throughout the ages, and almost every iteration of Peter Pan has been pretty good.
Yeah.
So. You kind of have to put Peter Pan over Zootopia, unfortunately.
Just in general, like in the Disney like universe of like themes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's very like super like whimsical and like fantastical and like just I feel like every kid just wanted to go to Neverland as a kid and like
For
fight
sure.
pirates and stuff like that, and that was such a cool like idea
Yeah.
to think about as a kid, or being a lost boy and just like going in the woods and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
and Zootopia is an
Yeah.
important movie, and it's really, really
yeah,
good. It has really good characters.
A great
Like,
message to it, but like
I think overall
Disney,
Disney, yeah, Peter Pan has it just has aged really well, and because Peter Pan never ages.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's tough because if Zootopia was going up against another weaker movie, I think I would have to go with Zootopia. But Peter Pan meeting up with it in the first round, that's a rough pull.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. Next one is Ratatouille versus Princess and the Frog. And
I think Princess and the Frog.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I like both of these movies, and I
too.
really like Ratatouille a lot.
I do a lot too, but they both have like characters that
Oh,
like
yeah.
want to cook and
Yeah,
ah!
yeah,
Yeah, it's tough.
that's tough.
Oh,
And
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille has such a. I mean, this one's hard because I honestly don't know. Like both of them are fun characters. I watched Ratatouille the one time, and I loved it or liked it, but I haven't watched it since. And I also have, I mean, Princess and the Frog. I think we've only watched once as well.
Yeah.
But I like that movie too, and it's hard. All the Disney movies are usually pretty darn good, so
Yeah.
it's hard to do this one.
I think maybe Ratatouille, just because in terms, I mean, they both have a good message.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of the trope of like the girl finding the guy, blah blah blah. And Ratatouille's just had a little more of a different like theme and story, and like just such a heartwarming like kind of like, hey, believe in yourself. And I mean, like I said, they both kind of have those themes.
Yeah.
But for me, I think Ratatouille might be.
Well, this one
little
might be
bit
one where
better.
we need to look at the Rotten Tomatoes score just so we can see. I would be interested to see how Ratatouille did versus Princess and the Frog. PVs are voting for Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Said either one not going to make it out of the bracket anyway.
No,
I mean, it's true. But I want to get it semi-right, or I see where our opinion lies. My edge...
How do you spell it? Oh.
My edge, I think, feels like it's going to go to Ratatouille. But I think Princess and the Frog is right there.
Ratatouille has a tomato meter of 96%.
Ooh, that's going to be tough to beat. Let's look at Princess and the Frog.
87% audience. So
87% audience? Okay. 97% critics, 87% audience. Princess and the Frog?
85 to 74.
85. Oh.
Sorry.
Well, yeah.
That's the deal breaker, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think for us, Ratatouille is going to be in there.
Like I said, just for me, I think it had just like a more interesting, like diversive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, ending.
The PVs have a good point on the chat here. Princess of the Frog, hand drawn, good songs in it as well, so that kind of factors in. But I think we got to go with Ratatouille on this one.
Ratatouille, in general, had like really brilliant like visual, like, visuals and stuff, just in terms of like the city and the lights and everything like that. Like, so I still think Ratatouille.
This next one's gonna be easy because I've never watched Meet the Robinsons and I have no
me either.
interest in it.
I don't
And
know.
Hercules is such a fun movie.
Super fun.
We are gonna have to go with
I
Hercules.
really
That's
like
gonna be
Hercules.
easy.
And that was another one I bought the soundtrack of because I just love.
Oh yeah.
So good.
All right. Next one also is gonna be easy, which I thought this is why this one was gonna be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Mulan definitely wins over
Yeah.
Aristocats.
Yeah.
I think Aristocats was an okay movie.
Never won. I actually don't think I ever watched it.
Yeah, I think I watched it like
Or I
one
may
time.
have, like watched a little bit of it, but it just didn't resonate with me.
Mulan, I'm super excited for the live action movie. Like, I hope they do it right. And I want them to do it right. Obviously, just I mean, they've been doing pretty good with these, but who knows? But I easy Mulan over Aristocats. Emperor's New Groove, which is one of your favorites,
Yes.
and Brave,
And I
which I
haven't seen
think
Brave.
I've only watched once.
Did you watch it?
I think I might have watched it one time, and I don't
Okay.
remember it very much.
Okay.
But the animation is really good. I've heard the story. I mean, I can't remember the story very well, so.
I just remember I went and saw Emperor's New Groove with my mom, and it was like such a bonding thing between
Yeah.
us. We just were like both cracking up the whole time, and like my mom was like in tears at the end with like Eartha Kitt as the cat, like in that really high pitched thing. Like she was literally crying. I remember that, and I was just like, "This is amazing!" And then I bought it, of course. And
Yeah.
I think I literally have like a lot of that movie memorized because I just have
You do.
watched it so many
Kronk,
times.
the lever.
Wrong
So I think we're gonna have to go with Emperor's New Groove on this one.
Yeah, that was for a long time. That was like my favorite Disney movie, like as like a teen,
Yeah.
older teenager. Yeah.
This is also one that I don't know the other movie. Monsters Inc. is an amazing movie. I don't know much about Home on the Range as a cartoon or Disney movie.
Yeah, I don't even.
So
no
unfortunately
basis for
for
that.
that, I'm gonna
Monsters, Inc.
have to go with Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know that other movie. We had one vote for Brave, and also a recommendation for Meet the Robinsons. We do probably need to watch it. I would love to watch it at some point, but Monsters Inc. definitely wins that one, I think. Anyway, let's go back up to the
For
top.
me, Meet the Robinsons just seems like something I'd already seen. Like it was just like didn't really feel like a movie I needed to watch. I guess. But yeah.
Brave is great, but you can't fight a llama.
Seriously.
All right,
Llama
Incredibles.
babies. That's like my favorite.
Incredibles versus
David
Snow
Spade's
White.
so good in that, like so good.
David Spade is really good.
Oh my god, so good.
And Patrick Warburton too. Incredibles versus Snow White. I think we have to go with the Incredibles, right? For us,
Yeah.
personally, I think Snow White's an important movie. They're talking about making they're making a Tomorrowland ride for it. Oh, okay, for Meet the Robinsons or something. Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Incredibles versus Snow White. I think Incredibles wins for us personally. I think other people might put Snow White over the Incredibles because it was kind of an original, like I think it's a fairy tale, and it's the first Disney movie. But Incredibles just hit such a really nice spot for me that it's gonna have to move on.
Yeah.
So
it was a really well done movie.
next run is Peter Pan versus Ratatouille.
Peter Pan.
Easy, Peter Pan. While Ratatouille is good, I think Peter Pan still holds up.
A knockdown drag out between me and you for that next.
For the next bracket, okay. Hercules versus Mulan.
I can feel it.
For this or this up here? For this one?
Incredibles Peter Pan.
Oh, that's gonna be rough. Hercules versus Mulan. I think I love Hercules as a fun movie. I personally think Mulan is a better tale, but this could be a toss-up
I like
too.
Hercules more, but that I just didn't watch Mulan as much.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked both, but I watched Hercules more, so I like it more. But again, I haven't seen Mulan since it came out. I don't think. So. So
this is a tough one because
I don't have a huge emotional attachment for either. So.
I have an emotional attachment to Mulan. I mean, I like Hercules a lot. I have some emotional attachment to Mulan just because we don't get that many Asian stories out there, and to have like a strong Asian woman in there and not make it be. I mean, there are some stereotypical-ish things in there, but it was a good representation. I felt like of what that story was. Mm-hmm. So it's hard too because I'm a huge fan of Greek mythology, and I thought they did Hades really, really well. Even though the guy who voiced Hades is kind of an asshole now, that movie still holds up. Yeah. But Mulan is such a great. It's just a good movie. Mm-hmm. I just have to. I gotta put it over.
Okay.
And if you're not super attached to it and you're okay with it, then you're kind of okay.
I'm gonna let it go. I'm not gonna fight you
Yeah.
over it. I do like Hercules more, but I'll let you have Mulan. You might need to let me have.
Yeah, I might have. Yeah. Emperor's New Groove versus Monsters Inc.
Emperor's New Groove.
Ooh, really? Yeah, I knew you were gonna hold
honestly
tight to
never
that one.
saw Monsters Inc. and like
Monsters Inc. has
I
like
don't know.
one of the most emotional little moments in the movie, just near the end of the movie,
Yeah.
and you'll probably know what it is or whatever.
I think I'd heard that,
Yeah.
like, because he basically has to give Boo back.
Yeah.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and it is like really, really like heartfelt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Emperor's New Groove has the advantage of being a surprisingly funny and amazing movie, where Monsters Inc. you kind of expect it because like Pixar's kind of in its groove there.
Semi-emotional ending too. He kind of like realizes that he was being a dick, basically,
Yeah.
and like,
hey! I gotta fight the cat for a second.
Get down.
Get down. All right.
Come here. Come say hi to the people.
Oh man, everybody's saying monsters. It might end up being Emperor's New Groove for us for this one. You're feeling very strongly about Emperor's New Groove.
I just
I
don't know why I never saw Monsters Inc. But I don't know if I just like didn't really, I don't know that I just didn't really want to see it or something.
And honestly,
it came out at a weird time in my life, but
I just
love the comedy of it.
I definitely rate watchability pretty highly on what we're doing here. Mm-hmm. So rewatchability at least. Where Monsters Inc. I will watch it when it comes on, but I won't watch all the scenes. I probably could watch any part of Emperor's New Groove when it goes on. And that's probably just a little hyped up for us, but we just like that movie.
Yeah, I don't know. And like, I mean, I'm just going off of what I know about like Monsters University, because I know that like a lot of some of the humor is similar, and just the humor of Emperor's New Groove, like it was just so different, and like it had that David Spade like ironic like twist to it, and just like all the like callback things, and like him doing his own voiceover. So like I was just like, it was just laugh through the whole thing, and like to me that's just one of my favorite movies, so that's why.
If I wanted to fight for it more, I probably would fight for Monsters Inc., but I don't really feel like I need to. I don't know. I think Emperor's New Groove is a fun dark horse of a movie. Yeah. I think it's fun to have it go a little further, so we'll see what happens there. This one's going to be really, really tough. Incredibles versus Peter Pan. Incredibles is one of my favorite Pixar movies.
And Peter Pan's one of my favorite movies ever. So
this is going to be tough. Yeah, like, if you want to let us know in the comments which one you think is better, because it might help us sway each other. But The Incredibles was such... And I posted about it before, because the bracket challenge that I saw before was Incredibles versus WALL-E in the first round. Mm-hmm. And while WALL-E is a great movie, I was surprised how many people picked it over The Incredibles. Because for me, The Incredibles, when I watched it, was such a perfect homage to what heroes should be.
Yeah.
It's a family dynamic. It did the Fantastic Four thing without needing to call itself Fantastic Four. Introduced kind of new-ish ideas. And like just had great voice acting. You have that family thing with like a dad wanting to be his own a dad wanting to be his own thing, but having responsibilities with his family, but trying to like manage that dream, I guess, and then realizing, I don't know, it was such a great way to go into that movie, I felt like. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was surprised in that thing that The Incredibles was not getting picked over WALL-E, mm-hmm. But I get that WALL-E's a great movie.
Yeah.
But Peter Pan is it's one of the most popular rides at Disneyland. It is a story that was from books that was adapted to this cartoon, adapted to stage plays, adapted to every kind of thing. Hook with Robin Williams.
So many iterations. There's like they've done prequels, they've done sequels, they've done sequels of sequels, they've done like it's just like I said, it's every kid's dream, and like to just run away and like, you know, be able to fly, and like I said, like it was like getting to go kind of like have adult freedoms while still being a kid, and like getting to like go on crazy adventures and stuff, and just like I said, for me the reason it holds so
The cats.
What are you doing?
I don't know. He knocked over something. It's fine. We'll figure it out later.
But yeah, like I said, again, it just goes back to the fact that like that was just something I watched over and over, and then we had the Mary Martin Peter Pan musical on tape too, and I watched that constantly.
But here's the thing. I question. My question for you: do you remember this cartoon Peter Pan more, or do you, if you were to just objectively compare the cartoon versus Incredibles as a cartoon, which one would you pick instead of like encapsulating where Peter Pan went from there, like the Mary Martin one that you love?
I understand that too. Because like I had like a picture book with I don't know if you guys remember the books where he came with a cassette tape and would play, and then it would go ding, and you turn the page.
Oh yeah.
It to you. It was basically like an audio book for kids, but you had the book that you could read along with it. And like it had all the music in it and everything too. And I think I actually read the book with the tape before I watched the movie. And so I'd already had like all the visuals and stuff in my head, and then when I watched the movie, it just got like super ingrained in me. And like, yeah, it's just as a whole, I prefer it. But if you want to pick Incredibles, I'll like. I like Incredibles too, but for me, Peter Pan is such a favorite of mine that I can't pick it over Incredibles. So.
See, I'm trying to think of a fair way to kind of pick between these two, because I feel like we both have emotional attachment to both of them, and I don't want to strip that away and just like be like pick mine.
Thing again, or no?
I don't know. I wonder if I kind of wonder. Let's do the Rotten Tomatoes thing real quick Let's just see, because this is a tough one just emotionally for both of us. Because Incredibles hit such a nice place, and that's why I'm so excited for Incredibles 2 coming out.
Okay, so I've got audience 80%, tomato meter 76%.
So you're at a 78% for Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Which I am actually surprised it's that low, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Incredibles ones, I guess.
Incredibles is what is it? 97 and 75, so you're still only at like 88 to 78.
That's fine. Just do it.
Oh man, people yelling Peter Pan. Let's count up the votes in the chat real quick, because let's see here. Peter Pan.
I get it.
1 Incredibles, 2 Incredibles. They're split in Peter Pan too.
Yeah. Peter Pan.
Let's go with Peter Pan. I'm gonna go with Peter Pan. Happy wife, happy life. Right?
To do that.
No. I get it though. I get why. I'm not gonna knock it. I think Peter Pan is
it's hard for me too. I love both those movies.
Yeah.
A lot, but
yeah.
I love Peter Pan.
All right. Mulan, Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. This one might be the one where I might have to pull mine, just because I think Emperor's New Groove is a great movie. I do think Mulan is a better structural movie. Like, Emperor's New Groove is a fun movie. Mulan had fun parts and had kind of a message to it. You know? That's the only thing I would say. Thoughts? I know you love Emperor's New Groove, so it's hard to go through. Do you mind letting me take this one? You're like, I'm going to kill you after this.
I just don't like it that much, so I can't say that I would pick it, but it's fine.
Let's go. Well, I'm gonna pick Mulan.
I don't like that movie.
Well, I think in this instance, now we have Peter Pan versus Mulan in the bottom bracket. Yeah. I think Peter Pan wins and takes this one to the bracket. Because of how much it resonates with you. Because I think if you had to pick between Peter Pan and Emperor's New Groove, Peter Pan wins anyway.
That's true,
right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, maybe I just need to watch Mulan again, but like, just something that can make me laugh will usually win out over a lot of things for me. So,
well, like you said, rewatchability is a big factor in a lot of these. Yeah. I actually didn't expect Peter Pan to come out of this corner, but I don't know what I expected to come out of that corner, to be honest with you. Adventureland next. Okay. This one might be easy. I don't think we're gonna need you to be involved in this first pick, It's
Okay.
Toy Story versus Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet is kind of a dark horse, obviously, because I don't know that I've watched Treasure Planet. I know friends who really like it. I can't say that I know much about it, but
I mean, I know Treasure
I think of
Island, which I think is
yeah.
basically just Treasure Island
But
space.
Obviously, Toy Story is one of the best and most well-regarded movies of all time.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have to be Toy
Yeah,
Story
it has to be
in this top spot.
Agreed.
It's gonna be very hard for a 16 to take a number one, but it might happen. Not to give away anything for later, but it might happen at some point in this bracket, in this version of the bracket. Rachel's currently boiling water to make mac and cheese. All right, so our next matchup is Pocahontas versus Wall-E. This is tough. This is tough. Pocahontas is a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Is a beautiful movie and has really great songs in it.
And Wally's so emotional.
And Wall-E is an emotional movie with a message, with
I mean, they actually have a similar message.
yeah, they do.
really do. Like,
do.
About like conservation and.
This is a tough
Like,
bracket, to be
yeah,
honest with you.
it really
If I'm looking ahead,
Yeah.
Man, it's hard. Honestly, I mean, people are saying Wall-E. I think Wall-E does take this one. It's hard though.
Oh, Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Again, black hair, beautiful black hair lady. Again, just like, I'm all in. I want to be Pocahontas too. And I just always loved, like, I always wanted to be Tiger Lily and stuff like that too. I always wanted to be a Native American lady in my head. But, okay, I'll give you
Yeah, I mean, but I think Wall-E does the story and such. It has that.
Yeah,
It has that essence. Yeah, check it out.
I just want to know.
I think
I know it's not going to change my decision, but
personally, I would pick Wall-E because of what it did with those characters. I think we're gonna have to go with Wall-E, just because of how.
little monster.
Look at him.
Chill.
Look at this guy. Because it did so much with such interesting little characters. Sorry to Pocahontas.
Right now.
He was back there with a bunch of wires.
Chill.
Jungle Book versus Alice in Wonderland. Now this one this one's gonna be tough because I think I like Jungle Book. I actually like the iteration that they did with the live action too. So if I combine the two, I like them a lot. I don't remember Jungle Book that well, like as a cartoon. If we're talking about the animated one.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I was like a Disney movie junkie back in the day. Like I was constantly renting every Disney movie, pretty much. And
He wants to vote.
No, he doesn't. I always, if we're talking classic, I always liked Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, I think so too.
I liked the music and like.
I think
For
Jungle
some
Book was a
reason-
fun movie, but I think for me, Alice in Wonderland was a little bit more impactful, and I like the design a little bit better.
For some reason, Alice in Wonderland was always like, always almost like semi creepy.
It was.
Just because like I mean, what was it, the Walrus and the Carpenter? That whole like scene was like creepy as all get out to me as a kid. Like it just felt super wrong, and I was just like, I don't know about this, and like. Just like the way they talked, it was so like odd that it was like almost like bordering on insanity, and like
Yeah.
and this is a total side note, but there was a like stage play Alice in Wonderland that I have no idea of when it came out or whatever, but I actually bought the VHS for like way too much money like when I was in college because I found it online, and I was like, oh my god, I remember this, I used to rent this all the time. And that was super creepy because there was a part, and I guess it was more true to like the actual books.
Yeah.
But there was a part with it was like the Duchess or whatever.
Actually.
It was, I guess that was, because that was like one of the characters was this Duchess. And I think it was based more on Through the Looking Glass, actually.
Okay.
The play that I saw, but it actually had like it had a part in it with an actual Jabberwocky.
Oh.
Like they did the poem, and then they had this like creepy person in a Jabberwocky mask like running around, and they chopped the head off of it. But the mask for the Duchess was like the creepiest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like it was so creepy, and like the mouth moved and stuff, but it was obviously a mask. And then she's like she's cradling this child back and forth like super violently. And then when Alice comes up to it, it's a pig. It's like an actual pig.
Oh.
And it runs
I don't like
away.
that at all.
Yeah. And she's like, and the thing, she's like tossing this baby up in the air and like talking loudly and stuff. Yeah. And that was just like nightmare fuel for like ever for me. I was like, she's gonna come get me or something. Like, it was creepy as all fuck. But anyway, back.
Yeah.
But I guess it is in a way like, I don't know. I just always like, it was creepy, but also like, intriguing and weird and cool, and I just always liked Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland I think wins that matchup. Yeah. It's kind of it's a lower end because I think people like the characters in it, but they don't remember the story very well, or they don't remember it that well. But I definitely like it more personally than Jungle Book. I guess
maybe the music in Jungle Book was better.
Yeah.
But just I personally just have more vivid like remembrances of Alice in Wonderland.
Yep. Tangled and Chicken Little. Did not watch Chicken Little.
Nope, didn't.
So
and I've seen Tangled only a couple times. It was cute, but I didn't love it.
Yeah, but I think overall Tangled
is better.
It was better. This one's a little bit of a tough one. Little Mermaid versus Lady and the Tramp.
Oh my god, for me this is so hard. Oh, it's so hard.
I know I like
Little Mermaid. I think
it has to be.
That was such a repeat forever for me as a little kid. The music was so good, and just everything about that movie. I would sing it constantly.
Yeah,
it was one of those like rewind after I played over and over. I did the same with Lady and the Tramp too, but also I think the Lady and the Tramp that we had wasn't a very good copy, and so it wasn't as good quality.
And it's a cute movie, very very cute movie. But I watched Little Mermaid.
Vaguely
I have three.
Well, I had one racist.
I have three older sisters.
Yeah.
They watched Little Mermaid on repeat all the time. Yeah. And it's one of those movies that has such great.
So come on, how could I not?
It had such great music and great storyline and an incredible villain.
Oh my god.
Ursula is one of the best villains of all time. So we have to put Little Mermaid over Lady and the Tramp. Unfortunately, that's gonna go. This one's gonna be a really easy one. Obviously, I think. Finding Nemo versus Cars 2. I don't know anyone who would put Cars 2 over Finding Nemo. No. So, I'm just going to go ahead and mark this one in. And that's going to be a tough next round matchup.
Yeah.
But Finding Nemo definitely wins that one. Alright. This one might be easy for us too. Fox and the Hound versus Inside Out. Fox and the Hound is a cute movie that we remember.
Yeah.
But Inside Out is
it's one of my favorite movies.
Our favorite movies of the past 5-6 years.
Yeah.
It touches on mental health. It does, or kind of, in a roundabout way, it touches on mental health, emotions, teaching kids how to handle emotions, that sort of thing. I think Inside Out wins this one pretty easily, personally for us. Because I remember Fox and the Hound a bit. But it doesn't resonate with me like Inside Out does. Okay. I'd die for Riley.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, I love that.
This one is an interesting one. Moana versus Hunchback of Notre Dame. Which Hunchback of Notre Dame I think is a great movie.
It really is, yeah.
Really, really good.
Good soundtrack.
But I think Moana wins this one.
Yeah.
Personally. It's close. Might be close.
I don't know. I didn't fawn over Moana like a lot of people have. I did think it was a very good movie, but I just didn't. I don't know. It just didn't like stand out to me as incredible.
Gotcha.
But
I thought it had great
over
songs.
Hunchback, it's probably
I think it makes sense over
better,
Moana over Hunchback.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. I think Moana was a great movie. It it got a little bit overhyped for me. I think Moana did. But I still enjoy it, and I would watch it again.
Yeah, it had highlights, but like it didn't have like as dramatic of an ending as I assumed it would have. But
yeah. All right. Moving back up, Toy Story versus WALL-E.
Toy Story.
I think Toy Story wins this one.
Yeah.
Just as a movie that has resonated because it came out at the right time, WALL-E has an important message and might be a little bit more beautiful. I think it holds up a little bit better with like animation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Toy Story has some of the best characters, has a very succinct story, introduced us to a kind of a rule base for their whole storyline, and made you buy into these characters that weren't, they could only get a certain number of licenses. So Woody is a whole new toy. It's not like a toy that was established. Buzz Lightyear's a whole new toy. You don't really know what shit that is. Like, you know space toys, but you don't have a Buzz Lightyear. And now Woody and Buzz are their own thing. And to do that and have that impact, I think, is a huge thing. WALL-E is a great little droid. Eve is a great little droid. But impact-wise...
movie, but yeah, overall Disney movies, it was... If Toy Story hadn't happened, Pixar wouldn't be a thing. So Toy Story has to be first, or WALL-E wouldn't have happened. Yeah, basically.
So we're picking Toy Story over WALL-E in that round. Alice in Wonderland versus Tangled. Personally, I think Alice in Wonderland wins that one, just because of, we don't. Personally, I know people really love Tangled, but I don't think Tangled wins over the classic in Alice in Wonderland.
There's only so many like princess and prince stories I can take.
Rachel said there's only so many princesses and prince stories she can take.
Cause really like the first princess prince story was Little Mermaid. Yeah. And then it had a different feel to it in Aladdin because Jasmine was more empowered. And then like every other iteration after that was just a retelling of one of the two of them. Like, there
you go. That's what she said. Like, that's a hot take from Rachel.
Am I wrong? Or
no, that's not wrong.
Because like really, it was like Little Mermaid. I guess maybe Snow White and Cinderella and all those were kind of like the beginnings of that, but. I think because there was the whole like supernatural element to Little Mermaid that it made it a little more exciting, I guess. Yeah. Because like every other like Snow White and Cinderella, like.
You can move it over here so you can see Rachel over here.
I'm just making sure and probably just set a timer for this.
Yeah. Set a timer and come back.
Yes. So my thinking is that like Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, like they're all kind of like there's a damsel in some kind of distress and needs to be saved, and that's just the trope or whatever. And they're all nice in their own way, and they all have nice music and like and like the stories are interesting and stuff like that. But again, like so you had like that trope, and then with Little Mermaid it was just different because like she has like this whole like other like element to it because she's not human. She's not a fish, but she like has all this like human elements to it, and then like.
So as we're transitioning to this next bracket, is Little Mermaid versus Finding Nemo.
Okay.
Which Finding Nemo is an amazing little movie too. Yeah. But with all the stuff that you're saying, you're convincing me more and more that Little Mermaid is winning this one.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. Like Finding Nemo is great, has great characters. Dory is a great character. Spawned a sequel. A good tale. Like you don't get to see the tale of a father being a good father or trying to be a good father and kind of messing up, I guess. I mean, maybe you do. You do see fathers living more than mothers in the whole scheme of Disney. There's a lot of mothers dying. Yeah. And fathers figuring it out. Yeah. But I think that Little Mermaid has to win this one, and like like you said, the original fish. It's the original sea movie. Little Mermaid has got to be it. And I think.
Well, and like I don't know, and like I think everyone or every girl I think has like a like I guess it sets it up in Peter Pan that mermaids are these like gorgeous creatures that like
Yeah.
are just like cool and sexy and like pretty and like just whimsical, and so then getting to see that portrayed as like someone you relate to,
Yeah.
with the fact that she has like an overbearing dad and like doesn't want to do what her dad tells her to do, and so like
Yeah.
that for girls that resonated really highly. And then like who was saying it? We went to this panel at WonderCon where they were introducing this new Disney line of clothing for Hot Topic that one of my really close friends, Rose Ivy, designed.
Princess Tiana.
Princess Tiana and Tangled Rapunzel dresses for, and Ariel is one of the ones, and they were kind of
Look out for that Hot Topic.
yeah.
This year.
The Ariel one looks really cute too, especially the shoes. I think I might have to go for the shoes. But I think Ed LeBay was saying that like they were remembering like the part where she like sees Prince Eric for the first time, and just like, you know, even like I definitely wasn't like in the mindset of liking boys at that time, but just like seeing like how enamored she was, you're just like, oh, it's so cute. And like, so like, you know, it's just something that resonated with me as a kid. And then like, so I don't know, I think it just kind of, it was approaching empowerment, but she was still like,
She's still a little problematic.
She was so helpless for a lot of it,
Yeah.
and like had to be mute, and like got judged for that, and then like, yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on. We'll move on a little bit. Inside Out versus Moana. For us, this is easy. I don't think it would be easy for everybody.
Yeah.
Because I think Moana resonates with so many people.
Yeah.
But Inside Out for us, one of our top 5 Disney movies, Disney Pixar movies that's come out in a while.
The girl in that was basically me, so I and I cried probably like the hardest Coco, I think.
Besides the next bracket.
Coco, that was the biggest cry for me, was the end of Inside Out.
So, unfortunately, Moana, I think that it's a good movie.
Not a bad movie, just not,
in this matchup for
not
us,
as resonating for the nerdlies. This is
Yeah.
just the nerd.
This is just our opinion. Don't kill us over our opinion.
Childhood, our personal experiences.
So Inside Out, I think, takes the edge over Moana in that matchup.
Yeah.
Now this is starting to get a little tougher.
Mm-hmm.
Toy Story versus Alice in Wonderland. This one not as tough, I think. I think Toy Story still makes it out of this one.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I resonate with Toy Story much more than I resonate with Alice in Wonderland. So that's not easy. I mean, that's not hard.
Yeah.
But Little Mermaid versus Inside Out. Now, this is a classic that I've rewatched a million times. This is a new movie that I have strong feelings about. But who knows how many times I'm going to watch it in the future. I think I'm going to still watch Little Mermaid. Right? I don't know.
I mean,
it's close.
Yeah, it's hard because like I love emotional movies, but there's only so much that I can rewatch it, because like it's just hard to rewatch it. And The Little Mermaid is definitely rewatchable just because it's light and fun for the most part, and the music's really, really good. And
but do you take the emotional aspect? Are you gonna weigh the emotional aspect more than rewatchability in this instance and think Inside Out should win, or classic rewatchability? This is really, really tough. This is really, really tough. It's hard.
I don't know.
It's hard.
I don't know, guys.
I think Little Mermaid is great. Like it's always gonna be a great. You have, I mean, one of my favorite songs in Disney is Under the Sea. For whatever reason, that song always got me.
It's
but
so fun.
Inside Out is such an important movie for kids to learn that you learn so much about how to deal with feelings and how to do that sort of thing. This is tough. This is tough. You want to do the Rotten Tomatoes? Let's do the Rotten Tomatoes real quick.
Sure.
Real quick.
I feel like Little Mermaid would win this, though. The Lottle Mermaid?
The Lottle Merms. The only thing that tripped me over The Little Mermaid is to bring Ursula back into it.
92.88.
92. That is pretty good. So your average about a 90, 88 with the crowd.
There's more than one movie entitled Inside Out.
That's weird.
There's a bunch of movies entitled Inside Out.
Inside Out is a 98. But what's the crowd?
Oh wait, no, this is Amy Poehler.
Why did it go Amy Poehler?
I tried. Weird. I clicked on 98.89.
So average is a 95. Oh man!
Go back to Little Mermaid.
I think Inside Out wins with the Rotten Tomatoes score. Yeah, because that's a 90 with the thing.
Yep.
Are you comfortable with going with Inside Out?
I think so.
For this one?
Yeah.
All right.
Little Mermaid 2 got 33%.
Which one?
Little Mermaid 2.
Oh yeah. Well, I wouldn't expect that to get.
No bueno.
So I apologize, but of course you can just differ from us. But Inside Out wins over the classic Little Mermaid in this bracket under our restrictions, I guess. Rachel votes for Inside Out. Toy Story is such a classic. I think it'd be easier for me to put it over. I think if it was Toy Story 3, because I think Toy Story 3 was a better story, and because of how impactful Toy Story. I mean, Toy Story had to lead into Toy Story 3, but I just think that tale of whatever. I think that Toy Story 3 was a stronger movie. And if we're comparing it straight out, Inside Out is a very, very strong movie. So I think for us, Inside Out makes it into the final four from this bracket here. Which I think is surprising. I think if you would have asked me this morning, just looking at the titles in this bracket, I think I would have told you Toy Story was going to make it out. Toy Story or Little Mermaid, pretty confidently. But as I look at it more and look at the matchups as we go along, Inside Out gets an edge just because of, our personal feelings about what that message of that movie is about. I think clearly the answer here is that Coco wins over Toy Story 2. Yep. Toy Story 2 was a pretty good iteration in Toy Story. I think it's the weakest of the three Toy Story movies. Coco is a great combination of what Pixar does well and what Disney does well, which is music plus the human interest stuff that Pixar does. Yep. So I'm going to go with Coco for this one. Rachel, don't chew in the mic. I'm just kidding. Hi. This next one's interesting because I don't think I've watched either of these. Finding Dory and Brother Bear. Have we watched either of these ones?
Nope.
This is one we're going to have to... if you guys have watched both of these, tell me which one you think is better. But this one, we might have to just go to the Rotten Tomatoes and just go with whatever it is. And I can guarantee you, I already know that Coco is going to win between these two. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But let's go with Rotten Tomatoes and see which one wins between Finding Dory and Brother Bear. If you guys have a strong opinion about either of these movies, let us know. I've heard Finding Dory is a fine, iteration and
Finding
addition.
Dory at Rotten Tomatoes is 94%.
94%. Wow, that's higher than I thought it was going to be. I'm assuming Brother Bear is going to be in the 70s. 70s or 80s. Possibly.
Hold on. I need to just actually do Rotten Tomatoes.
What happened?
I'm sorry.
I need you to focus.
I am focused.
Hope you guys are having a fun Friday night listening to us debate and do all this stuff.
Got bad.
Bad, huh? 38%. Wow.
64%.
All right, well, that's easy. Finding Dory. Moving on. Not going to win against Coco. I'm just going to write this in right here because we know that's going to go around. We'll just keep going here. Cinderella versus Atlantis. I don't remember Atlantis very well.
I don't either.
I'm going to go with Cinderella.
Yeah, I like Cinderella as a kid.
Tarzan versus Sleeping Beauty is interesting, though. Yeah. Tarzan, I think, is a great movie. I think it has really good animation. Sleeping Beauty is a classic. And has one of the best villains of the classic era, Maleficent. I think Sleeping Beauty gets the edge here on this one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with Sleeping Beauty, which sets up a very classic matchup in the second round for this little part of the bracket. Up versus Big Hero 6. Now, Big Hero 6, I think, is a phenomenal movie. And it also is in that superhero genre. But Up is so front-loaded with such amazing characters. And we've cosplayed that movie, or those characters. It's going to have to be Up for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for us. This one's easy. Beauty and the Beast.
Yep. No contest.
Over Cars 3. Did anybody watch Cars 3? Just of you guys that are in this chat, have you guys watched Cars 3? I don't know many people who have. Yeah. I honestly don't know, but it's definitely not beating Beauty and the Beast, no matter what it is. Lion King 1.5 is an interesting movie.
I've not seen it.
It was a straight to DVD movie, I'm pretty sure. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It's kind of like, someone was talking about it today. It's basically like, you've heard of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead?
No.
It's basically a movie like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead, where they were characters, I think, in Hamlet that were side characters, and someone wrote a play about them.
Oh, okay.
So this is a Timon and Pumbaa movie that happens concurrently with Lion King, the original.
Okay.
So it's their side story and like their little perspective. But
wasn't it when they were like raising him? Basically?
Maybe, yeah. I think it's in that in between era. But Wreck-It Ralph, amazing. Yeah. It's gonna be Wreck-It Ralph for us. Yeah. Like I already talked about Lion King 1.5 too much, just to give you context of what the hell it is. But I think Wreck-It Ralph wins that one. Bottom of the bracket, Cars and Fantasia. The only thing I knock Fantasia for is that it's not really a movie in the sense of like a narrative. Mm-hmm. It is just a bunch of montages, which I think is cool, and the animation is cool, but it's not really a movie. Cars is an okay movie. It has fun animation. It's gonna be. This is a tough, like, interesting matchups because I think Fantasia brought a lot of different art styles, and I think that's really cool, and the music's really good. Cars was actually a movie, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Cars probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm close to edging Fantasia just because of the classicness, the classic of it.
I actually like Fantasia 2000 better.
Oh, really?
That's just because I really love all the visuals and music from that a lot, and they're both great. Like, they both hold up.
I don't think we can go wrong with either of them in this realm because I don't think they're going to beat Wreck-It Ralph.
No.
For us.
Yeah.
Personally. My inkling is to say Fantasia.
Okay.
Just because of the
classic,
music and the animation is so beautiful. Mm-hmm. I think it edges Cars by just a little bit. Cars just looks cool, but it looks a little bit generic. And it's also a little bit derivative of like the Chevron commercials at that time, animation-wise. Mm-hmm. And the story doesn't really blow you away.
It was cute.
It's cute, but it doesn't blow you away like any other movie does. Yeah. Now, we've advanced Coco already. Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty.
I think Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah?
I think
you think so?
Takes it, yeah. Because, like, Cinderella, like, the the villain in there was just, like, you couldn't relate to her at all. She was just evil. Like, she fucking, like...
She was the evil stepmother, right?
Yeah, and, like, well, and the whole thing with that was that she was just, like, nah, bitch, like... You're too pretty, and like I know you're gonna steal this guy away from my daughters, so I'm gonna lock you away. And also just like the stepsisters in that were horrible too, because they ripped her shit to shreds after she just made it. And like I was pretty much just as a kid seething at the end of that movie. I was just like. So mad. I was just like mad, and like Sleeping Beauty, like I think just that whole ending sequence is so like thrilling, because he's like having to, like, she's like, Maleficent's putting all these roadblocks and he's just like mashing them all down, and it's like, it's also terrifying, but like it just had more of a thrill to it, and then like the desperate,
I can agree with that,
like try to get to her before she dies and stuff like that, and just the emotion at the end when she like is able to wake up is like really strong, and like it was just such a sweet, like, and I kind of like, at least I feel like at least in Sleeping Beauty, like they had a slightly more like realistic romance than Cinderella, because it's just like, oh, this guy's hot and my shoe fits, let's do this. But like Sleeping Beauty, like she actually met him in the forest and they were like cute together, and
flirty and stuff,
like, so like he had more of a thing than just like, oh damn, you hot girl. I mean, they dance at the ball, but still it's like at least they had a little bit more of a connection and backstory.
This one's a tough one. Up versus Beauty and the Beast. I think Up is a phenomenal movie. But this is what I told somebody else, and I think this is why I'm going to vote for Beauty and the Beast in this round.
Okay.
Up is a great movie, but it is very front-loaded with its greatness.
It's true.
It's a little bit unbalanced of a movie. The movie is really, really good right off the top, because that 10-minute, 15-minute sequence showing Carl's backstory is one of the most heartbreaking things you'll ever see in cinema ever. Mm-hmm. Ever. And it's 10 minutes of a movie that, you know...
It could have been a short film.
That should have been a short film by itself. Yeah. And if you could have just wrapped it up with him learning how to help people with Russell, like, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But I think it's front-loaded with greatness. I think it falls off a little bit near the end. I think it's... Like, Doug is a fun character, but whatever. I think Beauty and the Beast is a solid movie. Great animation, great music, great characters all around.
Was great. The music was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely. Yeah.
I think Beauty and the Beast wins over Up.
That's solid.
Unfortunately for us, I love Up as a movie.
Yeah, I do too.
But I think.
Yeah, you're right. Like, it does. Like, they really didn't make. I mean, it had a pretty good villain, but.
Yeah.
It was old guys fighting. I mean, how exciting can that really be?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was two old dudes fighting it out, like dukes it up, like like I don't know. I mean, I liked the adventure of it, and I liked, you know, the sweetness that, you know, he got to learn to love again.
Yeah.
Kind of, but at the same time, like, I definitely think Beauty and the Beast all around is just, it's classic, it's beautiful, it's well done, and
next
hard
one.
To beat the musicals, man.
It's hard to beat them. Hard to beat them. Wreck-It Ralph versus Fantasia. I think Wreck-It Ralph wins.
Yeah.
For us personally, like I said, it's got a good narrative, got great characters. Fantasia, while it's great, it's not really a movie.
Yeah.
Like in the movie sense.
Yeah, in the story arc sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a vignette.
So Coco versus Sleeping Beauty. I think Coco wins for me.
Yeah, me too.
That's unanimous with us. It might be, I mean, you can blame us for having Coco on our minds more because it's so new. Yeah. But I think it's such a succinct story. Sleeping Beauty has issues just because it's so old. It has issues with its characters and little things like that. It's got a little bit of revisionist stuff in it because obviously now you have the Maleficent movie a little bit. Yeah. Coco is just a solid, great Pixar movie. Yeah. Probably one of the best.
Yeah.
This one's tough a little bit. Beauty and the Beast versus Wreck-It Ralph. One is a classic. Yeah. One, I think the only thing Wreck-It Ralph suffers from in this matchup is that it does semi heavily relying on like references.
Yeah, it does.
Whereas Beauty and the Beast is its own thing.
Yeah.
But Wreck-It Ralph does have a really good message. Beauty and the Beast, not so much message, but story-wise, it's kind of cool. I don't know. This one's a toss-up.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm leaning towards Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, kind of.
Because I think the music is great. I think that pushes it over the top. Wreck-It Ralph doesn't really have music, but it has one of the most emotional endings of a movie I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
But Beauty and the Beast is one that I've loved since I was a kid, so I think that advances.
Yeah.
Now this sets up the obviously the toughest matchup in this bracket, I think, which is Coco versus a classic in Beauty and the Beast. I'm having a really tough time with this one because I think Coco is a phenomenal film, and if you haven't watched it, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. It's a perfect combination of what Pixar does.
I watched
music.
it twice today. I watched it once by itself and once with commentary, and like, again, like I can't not cry at those last couple scenes. Like it's just so like resonating and meaningful, and like, and they were even saying that like in well, I guess I don't know if people don't want spoilers. I don't know if they've seen it or not, but basically one of the ending scenes is actually like true to life in a way because of the emotions of music and what that can do and stuff like that. So I guess I'll just leave it at that. But like I just in general like I guess you can in some ways like it's like after watching it again like you in some ways it's semi-predictable, and there's like you know kind of the convenient like, oh, we have to go here, and oh, there's a contest so we could go here, you know, kind of thing. But just like a telling of like a story like that with like really deep twists with deep emotional meaning, and just the culture behind everything and how well executed everything was with that, and like the attention to detail and just the beauty of the visuals and the music. It just had like everything. It really had everything you could want.
And Beauty and the Beast like spawned like so many great designs, and has some of the most wonderful and like encompassing some of the most wonderful music in all of Disney.
Definitely.
But I think Coco wins this one for us personally.
Yeah.
And it might be us just riding the Coco high now, but I think in general we just enjoyed Coco more, and it's going to be a more watchable movie for us in the future.
I think so too, yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. And again, like I said, Beauty and the Beast is another princess movie. Yeah. Which gets to be a little derivative at the end of the day, and so it's nice to have like all the movies we have in our final thing are like unique in their own way, and aren't just like girl meets boy, boy meets girl. Like
we actually surprisingly the only one that has a romance in it, or I mean two of them have romances in it. Are Lion King and Peter Pan. We didn't pick any princess movies for our final four, which is, I think, surprising.
Kind of surprising, yeah, but
like I said, I think the princess stuff is a little bit limiting.
Yeah.
So I think that's why.
Yeah. And I mean, if they hadn't branched out into doing like stuff like Inside Out and Coco, you know, in their iterations and stuff later on, and you know, maybe those would have. I mean, obviously those would have probably won out. Yeah. But because Pixar is Disney and Disney is Pixar now, like those new interesting movies that they've come up with have really like kind of come out on top in general, just because
I'm actually surprised
something new and different in a creative way.
As we've headed into the final four, I'm actually surprised that a movie older than the 90s made it to the final four. Yeah. I would not have predicted that if you had told me this afternoon we were doing this, that Peter Pan would make it to the final four. Yeah. Now this leads to the way tougher conversations, which is Lion King versus Peter Pan, then Inside Out versus Coco. Lion King versus Peter Pan. Now, this is going to be very difficult. Lion King, I think, is a great, great movie. Peter Pan resonates very well. I think Lion King has held up longer and has resonated more. Peter Pan has been redone so many times, but I think that's what hurts it in some ways. Yeah. Because there are varying quality of what Peter Pan does. Now, Peter Pan cartoon is pretty good, but some of the stage shows have been better, and some of the like Hook is a good interpretation of the Peter Pan lore. Mm-hmm. But I think The Lion King has a great stage show. I think it has, I mean, it has those sequels which are kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
But I
I
think
mean, it
they're,
even has like a TV show. I think it's still
yeah, the
on.
Simba something,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's some like
some Lion King show.
Pride Lands.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but
Pride
Lion
Lands
King
shit.
has resonated pretty well, and it's its own property, and I think The Lion King wins over Peter Pan,
Mhm.
kind of objectively,
Yeah.
just because the scope of the animation is really really nice, and the music is amazing. So, I think The Lion King comes in here. Now we have Inside Out versus Coco, two of our favorite movies of the entire like thing here. This is tough. I think the only reason I think one way or the other, and I think you have the same feeling about it. I think Coco wins because of the music.
Yeah.
When you think of Disney, you think of Pixar. The music really brings you to things. And Inside Out has a good soundtrack, but Coco has amazing music.
Yeah.
And the music is such an integral part of what the story is.
Yeah.
I think Coco takes it over Inside Out, even though Inside Out is a very important movie to us.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And like, yeah, if you're going with the Disney spirit of films, they're musicals. Like the best ones are the ones that we've loved are musicals, but they can also make you feel things.
Mm-hmm.
And Coco, yeah, Coco is it's not yeah, it's a musical and it has like very heartfelt, meaningful like stories and lessons and like and it's just a gorgeous movie.
Yeah.
It.
Oh man. All right.
So Coco
So-
versus Lion King.
Which I think-
and it's funny because that even in that other bracket
Yeah.
that I had, that was,
I think
that
this
was
is
my
the
last,
matchup. Yeah, this
those
is
are
the
my last
matchup that
two,
you
and I
had.
still picked Coco. Yeah.
And I'm trying to think whether I would pick Coco as well. I think that The Lion King is an amazing, amazing movie, and I still love it.
I do too. Yeah.
Coco, I mean, Coco is about real people,
Yeah.
or like a real quote unquote, it's animated movie.
Yeah.
But it is about people rather than a pride of lions in an animal kingdom. Oh man, this is tough. This is tough because this is a fight from nostalgia to what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think I'm gonna get that feeling again once I watch another version of The Lion King or rewatch Lion King or something like that. Oh, because any given day, it could be either of these movies.
Yeah, it really can. Yeah.
Do you feel any different doing it this way than when you did it in the other bracket, though? Do you feel any inclination?
A little bit,
Yeah.
like a little bit. But again, like, I mean, it's like I'm trying to think like if I had seen Coco as a kid, I feel like I still would have had the same emotional feeling about it as I did with like as I do now, I guess. And I think in general it just makes me feel does it make me feel better than Lion King did walking out of that movie? I don't know.
I don't know. That's tough.
I think it does. Because, like, I mean, obviously, like, trying to encompass the feeling of the end of The Lion King is, like, you know, I mean, they're very similar, like, in the sense that, like, okay, like, you've suffered these losses or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's basically war at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
You know, you've obviously lost, like, Mufasa and maybe some of the other lions and stuff and the hyenas and Scar's dead and, like, there's a lot of casualties in that movie. And it does feel more like an epic, like, almost like war film or, like, Hamlet or something.
Yeah.
And in the end, like,
I think
he's victorious and he's going to carry on, like, the legacy or whatever.
Of the pride or whatever, yeah.
And Coco just feels more like, I guess, relatable because, especially because, like, like I said, for me, it's like, you know, you all have family members that are older and that you love and care about, and it's just such a relatable thing to, like, see, like, your loved ones not being able to remember or like be able to interact the way they used to, and just knowing how powerful music is and how that can really bring someone back from that is such a like powerful message. And just in general, like the theme of like I don't like my family, but I love my family.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that kind of feeling of like not getting along, but then realizing that like, you know,
and you don't have to kill your uncle in this one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think just in general, like, obviously you're feeling, you know, exhilarated at the end of Lion King and stuff like that, but at the end of Coco, like, it's just so like cathartic and joyful and happy.
And it's such a movie that is so important right now to have that. I mean, we talk about representation in movies, and it did such a good job of representing the Mexican culture and Dia de los Muertos and all that stuff, and they really took care to do that. And like you said, I think the advantage of Coco is that it is a relatable movie.
Yeah.
It has the elements that really hit you in the heartstrings. Has some amazing music. Lion King has amazing music too. This is like on any like if you hit us like in 3 weeks, maybe we think the Lion King.
Yeah.
Because it's so close. It's
really
so close. It's not a runaway victory. But this would be like if this was an actual basketball game like March Madness. Mm-hmm. This would be a knockdown, drag out, triple overtime. Someone hits a miracle shot.
Yeah.
And wins.
Rotten
right?
Tomatoes, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes Lion King is 92-93.
Okay.
Let me see what Coco is.
I think Coco was at 100 for a little while.
Why is it not finding Coco?
I don't know.
Oh, why is it way down here?
Because Rotten Tomatoes scares you?
I don't know, why is it?
You clicked on the name?
Yeah. It's 97-94.
So Coco is leading by just a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I'm not surprised by, but I'm also a little bit surprised by. It's very, very close. Like I said, it's just a miracle shot. Like that's literally what it's taking.
Yeah.
I think Coco wins for us right now.
Yeah.
Doing this right now.
Yeah.
If we did this in a year, maybe we do it next March Madness, get a different bracket where it's seeded differently.
Yeah.
It might not.
Yeah.
But I think Coco wins this year. Coco is our 2018
champion.
Disney Pixar champion.
And like then that's in my other bracket. That was exactly the two that it came down to as well, and I picked Coco.
I think we have it. This is the end of the bracket. Coco is our winner for 2018. This was a very interesting thing to do because there are just so many good freaking movies in Disney Pixar.
It makes me want to rewatch stuff too.
Yeah, and watch things that I haven't watched.
Yeah.
I'll zoom out to the whole bracket here for a little bit. But yeah, thank you very much to Trevor Paxton, my buddy from high school, who helped design this thing, and David Brooks 97 on Twitter. Follow him on Twitter to see the rest of it. This is our bracket. Please share with us what you guys think and what you guys have through on the bracket. Like I said, on any other day, some of these movies will shift.
Yeah.
And if we do this again next year, which we might, if we get another bracket and reseed them in some way, I think it'll be interesting to see what wins next year. If we were to reseed them and even add in some of the newer movies, because who knows, we have Incredibles 2 come out, we have a bunch of other animated movies, I'm sure, from Disney that are coming out that could be added to this, and dark horses. Like, if Rescuers Down Under was in this, I feel like this one bracket would be a little bit different.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we'll do it again next year for March Madness and see what happens. But for this year, for us, in this moment, Coco is our winner.
Yep.
But yeah, hopefully you guys had fun watching with us. You hope you have a great night. We got in a little bit later than I thought it was going to go. We've been about 2 hours or whatever. But hopefully we'll have entertained some of you with what we have for our bracket. Any other thoughts and feelings about it? No? Good?
I think I've said everything I need to say.
All right, cool. Well, hopefully you guys have a great night. Make sure to follow and subscribe to our podcast, The Nerdlies, on anything that you have, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, all that type of stuff. Yeah, and we will join you guys later on for another Twitch stream at some point. Have a good night.